Well, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Can't work outside today. Well, we could, but it'd be a messy. First snow of the year. So, anyway, been enlarging my parking lot out here so that now I can drive a vehicle out and back it in. We got styrofoam down so the ground don't freeze. And I actually got 3 more loads coming today of fill. And we're going to shape this out, and I'm actually going to fill around the back side so we can drive around the back of the building in the spring without it being muddy. And we'll pretty much have this straightened out, I hope. Anyway, we're working on it. So we'll get back inside where the weather's a little better. I'm working on the throttle on that John Deere. So I'm basically, yeah, it's early morning yet. Basically what I'm doing is I'm going to take this piece right here, I'm going to cut it off right below the part number, just because why not, right? It'll look better. And I'm going to drill a couple of holes here. This rod you can't get out unless you take this base off. So I either got to cut it completely off, which doesn't really matter. This top housing here is broke in several places. And I'm going to cut the top off in it anyway. So I'm just going to drill a couple of holes right there real quick and break that piece out. Then there'll be room enough to get this wide area off where they've swedged it. And yeah, we're going to weld this onto a piece of steel. Going to bolt it right to these 2 bolts right here. And come right up, and we're going to run a tube across. We're going to put a bushing right in here because, you know, why not? And it was kind of funny. I was debating how to do all this. I was looking front and back and everywhere. And my friend Eric from down the road, he stopped in yesterday because he hadn't stopped in for quite a while. He was bullshitting about stuff. He walks around the back side. He says, why not use that clamp right there? He said, it's already there to hold your tube. I looked at it and I says, yeah, we got the big bolts over here. He's looking at it at the same time. You know, we're both thinking the same thing. So the big problem back here is where to bolt stuff that doesn't interfere with this. You know, it travels so far when you disengage it. It comes way out here. So you'd either have to have something real stupid looking to get over the top of it, or you'd have to run real low and, you know. And I really didn't want the throttle back here like the actual model W111s. They actually have the clutch linkage here and the throttle quadrant right beside of it. But yet you do all your, you know, cranking and your choking and everything from over there. So I thought might as well have everything all in the same spot. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount it right here. And as I build on it, I'll show you as we go along what it's looking like and how we overcome this obstacle of where to put the throttle. So this right here holds that tube at an angle, the spark plug wire tube. So I'm going to end up opting to go right here beside of it. And we're going to forget about that. Even as on there, I'll probably take it right off. Yeah, the angle problem. That's what that problem is. So what we're going to do now is I've got this marked out 5 inches wide. And it is 12 3/4 inches to the center line of this, That should get us to the other side where we need to be. So I'm going to do some double checking with some measurements and the tape measure, and we'll see if everything looks like it's going to work. So this is what I came up with after I got it cut out. I'm going to weld this about where it is. I might knock it up another, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or so before I weld it. I want it fairly close to the top. And I have to measure from this center line down 12 3/4 inches, and that's where my center line is for my bolts. So I'm going to weld this on first, and then I'll measure for my bolts after. Okay, just doing this weld with a wire feed. It's I'm doing just little bits at a time. You can almost hang on to it, but I'll wait until I can actually hang right onto the whole piece, you know, continuously, and then I'll weld a little more. Well, I got it bolted on, And, well, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. As you can see right there, half of the shaft is going to be hitting the fan shaft. Or half of the throttle rod is going to be hitting the fan shaft. So my 12 3/4, that was to the bottom of this, and I never even thought to take 3/4 off of my clearance. So it should have been 12 inches. So instead of actually just drilling another set of holes, I don't know, I might just drill another set of holes. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or put it in the mill and slot them. But either way, we'll, you know, that little problem can be overcome easy enough. I know some people are going to say you ought to have that vise the other way. I got that walked up wicked tight, and I know it should be the other way, but I didn't feel like turning it. So anyway, we're just using the old Potter and Johnston. If anybody likes old shapers, that looks like, I don't know, you'll have to read it. Light ain't right in here for me, but anyway, we're just taking a little bit off here. I'm going to make a flat on this side, and then I'm going to go on over with some Dykem. We'll mark out where I need to go. I'm going to end up with a triangle here. So anyway, I'll keep going. I'm going to go down probably 1/4 of an inch here so that I'll have quite a flat across. And then that's going to make my pyramid for my throttle shaft bushing. This here is the first side that I did. It's a little more than 90 degrees. So what I've done is I've just laid it in parallel to the blue line. And we're going to cut to that blue line. Then I'll flip it and I got a blue line on the other side. And that will make not really a triangle, but you know, kind of a 3-sided thing with a round top. Anyway, I'll get going on it. Pretty simple mechanism. I should know the name of that mechanism, but I can't think of it right now. For some reason I want to call it a Scotch oak, but that isn't it. But anyway, I don't think it is anyway. But maybe, I don't know. I can't think of the name of it. But there is a name for that mechanism. And it's in all shapers as far as I know, unless it's a hydraulic run one. But anyway, we're gaining. So we've still got about 1/8 of an inch to go to get to the line. And probably do it in one more pass. This particular machine is old enough, it would have had a flat belt drive originally. As you can see, just a little electric motor. And, anyway, probably going to take one more pass. I didn't go very deep. Like I say, the vise ought to be turned the other way so it don't roll it. But I'm going light and often, you know. Well, that's what I came up with. It's got a 7/16 guide, valve guide through it. And this will go through. Of course, I don't have it clamped tight, it's just sitting there. And it does line up good enough, it'll start right in. There's a little bit of drag on it, but I don't think it's gonna matter because this is on the throttle end, not the governor end. And I figure it'll work in over time. So anyway, yeah. Gonna make a nice little throttle mechanism, I think. Oh, I think it's gonna work. Wow, that's hot. Ought to be, it just got done welding it. Okay. looks to me like it's gonna work just fine. Yeah, that'll hook right there. And this here will hook up here on the governor spring. Well, I know it'll go. I had it in there, there we go. I don't have a cotter pin on it, but yeah. I might have to make this linkage a little longer, but not a big deal. So it comes out on the other side. Oh yeah. So that's how she's gonna be right there. Now all I have to do later on, I'm not going right now, I gotta go do a dump run, do some household things, but I just gotta drill this hole here and one for the spring, so it'll have tension on it. Throttle's gonna be right there. Coming out good. Yeah, we got that throttle made. Not too awful bad. You know, I'm sure could have done a better job if I'd have, you know. Anyway, it's good enough. She goes ahead. Not a lot of strength well, there's a lot of strength, but I don't know if it'll vibrate too much or not. Hopefully not, because your load's going sideways this way, so I think it'll be all right. The only thing I got to do now is I'll have to weld me something on here, one side or the other, to make a stop for the high speed. Otherwise, you don't know how fast you're going. I do still have to put this, drill it for a cotter pin right here. That's the only thing I got left to do. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I've got the hard part done. Anyway, hope it was entertaining for you. Keep safe, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe either. Appreciate it. Talk to you later.